look forward to the debates in the committee stages.
Asanati Lole-Taylor. Talofa lava.
Talofa lava.
Maioi.
Manuia whaftai.
Whawhatai lava.
Mr. Speaker, the proposed changes to child support payments indicate how outdated our current scheme is. We worry about what a child will become tomorrow, yet we forget that he or she is somebody today or someone today. Our families face different challenges and circumstances to that which families faced in 1992. So our 21-year-old child support scheme no longer reflects the lives of our modern families and may prove to be more futile than effective. Questions have been raised surrounding the ambiguous definitions concerning parents and caregivers. Questions have also been raised on the percentage splits for payments, which are determined by how much time a parent or caregiver spends with the child. And I'm looking forward to receiving the supplementary order paper that the Minister referred to or alluded to earlier on today. It is beneficial to see the bill attempting to ensure that we revitalise and construct a new structure for child support payments that are in tune with the present. Child support systems are futile if it is unable to keep up with times. The proposed changes will emphasise the importance of child rearing and should aim to provide appropriate and necessary policies. This will ensure that the needs of a child or children involved are firmly met and that their caregivers are receiving the right amount of financial support. Full-time caregivers have an important role to play in raising their children. Financial constraints should be the least of their worries. It is our hope that this new formula will ensure that every child is afforded with the right amount of financial assistance from both parents or caregivers so that they may grow up in a happy household. Far too long, far too often do we see separated parents struggle to balance their lifestyles to the needs of their children or child. I can hear Visitor Sam Lutui Inga trying to make some comments. I wish they were relevant. The primary parents or caregivers may have to work long hours just to make ends meet or not receive sufficient financial support from the other parent. It is our children, well, because I need you to listen and hear what I'm saying, Paul Goldsmith. It is our children who lose out at the end of the day. And it is not my fault that I have been gifted with such a very quality voice. They are the ones who will be deprived of essential quality time with their parents. This amendment bill, Paul Goldsmith, enables the parents to receive or pay the right amount of support for their child or children so that the responsibility is equally and fairly shared. Moreover, I thought you might like that. Moreover, the proposed amendments reflect trends and patterns of life changes that New Zealand families currently face. It should improve their lives and not become a burden. It's no surprise that families are working longer hours and probably working 2 jobs just to pay the bills to take care of their families. With rising cost of living comes longer hours away from children, just so they may chase the buck. The amendment bill should take this into account with greater emphasis on different living arrangements and circumstances. Not all families are unitary or fit one particular mould. Grandparents and other extended family members may be staying home looking after the child or children if the primary parent is absent. Situation as such should be afforded with some leniency, which is good to see in this bill. For the sake of keeping families together and not allowing more children to fall through the system, Mr. Speaker, the child support system should ensure that if the other parent is unable to care for the children on justifiable reasons and they are in the care of their grandparents, then the grandparents should be receiving sufficient support. It is one way of ensuring that their capacity to look after the children is not hindered or constrained by lack of financial support. Our children are our future, so we owe it to them and ourselves to ensure that their well-being is at the core of any policy that comes through this select committee. It will take time to assess whether or not the new scheme will be open to different living situations and arrangements, but the prospects look promising at this stage, I must say. The scheme should aim to align itself as close as possible to the changes that are occurring in society, which are directly affecting our families. If it fails to do so, then it is our responsibility to ensure that it does, and we must find ways to implement new changes. Parents have a responsibility to safeguard their child or children from harsh effects or neglect, and are also obligated to provide the best possible pathways for them. The amendment should be effective in assisting parents who have primary care of the child and treat parents or caregivers that are paying child support with added fairness. Child support ought to help families and not punish one or the other. It should be a scheme that offers the right amount of assistance that is equal to the amount of care that they provide for the child. Simultaneously, it should also encourage parents to pay child support and not look for ways to dodge payments. The obligations, incentives and penalties attached to the new formula will make it easier and more desirable for parents to pay and receive child support. It will enable more attention towards raising children rather than chasing up late payments or any payments at all. Parents will have more time to invest in making sure that the child is properly taken care of. This is the way it should be. Children shouldn't have to be victimized in relationships breaking down, nor should they be neglected by one parent for fear of child support payments, deterring them from spending time with their child. Instead, it should encourage parents to be positive role models for their children. Every child deserves a happy home and a safe environment to live in. Legislations we pass through this House, Mr. Speaker, to determine a fair goal for New Zealand's future generations. Neil Postman was right in the 1982 introduction of the disappearance of childhood. He said, "Children are the living messages we send to a time we will not see." So today's children are tomorrow's future. They deserve to be protected, for they will be leaders of this nation in years to come. It is beautiful for you to learn from Sam Lotui'inga. It is time to stop procrastinating in developing better solutions. After all, children find everything in nothing, while men find nothing in everything. New Zealand First supports this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pleasure to take a call in this second reading of the Child Support Amendment.